Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Wow, people are stoked.
I know, high, very high stoke. Let's talk about a common thing that happens, but simple to fix.
Yeah.
Um, Publishing changes. So many times you're working away, you make changes to pages, maybe
Mhm.
you make changes to a product, maybe you've changed pricing in POS and you're waiting for that price to show up, and it doesn't show up when you think it should.
Yeah, yeah, and especially, I mean, this time of year, retailers are getting busy. They got a lot going on. They got a lot to say.
They've been watching these dailies, they've been listening to the
They're,
podcasts,
yep.
they know they need to be in there updating the website.
Oh yeah.
This is
They're
okay, we're going a little too far propaganda. Let's talk about two things: publishing
Mhm.
changes and website catalog indexing.
Mhm.
When when we make changes, when you're in there diligently updating your homepage. So let's come in here and make a homepage update. Do 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 do. We'll just find a piece of copy. We'll just update a word.
Oh, I thought we were gonna update that holiday
We'll
hero
just
in March.
it needs to be updated. So we'll change holiday to happy there. And so we have this that should say happy there. And you save your change and you think, okay, I've done my thing. And you come out and look at the homepage, and lo and behold,
We're still talking about the holidays.
we're still talking about sorry about that. My demo site is behind. Oh, look it. Well, this is not a very good example. It updated automatically. It shouldn't have done that. At least I didn't expect it to. I would have expected that you have to publish this change. But let's say that change didn't show up.
Yeah, just
Like
pretend you didn't see
um,
that.
I'm shocked that it did that. But let's say the change didn't show up. The secret would be to come here and click this publish changes, and then it lets you a way to publish. It also gives you this little message that changes are automatically published around midnight Pacific time.
Yeah.
So if you make a change and think it won't show up because you haven't published the change, it will show up tomorrow because it will get
Mhm.
automatically published. So if you don't want that change to show up, use the start or an end date, or just make that section inactive. So I'm a little surprised that that did that. It really probably shouldn't have, but whatever, it worked. So maybe it's not a problem, but if it is a problem when you've made a page change or a navigation change, if you make a change here in Navigator Builder, same thing. The pages and navigators changes need to be published, and sometimes the little bell up here, you'll see a one in that if you need to make a change.
Mhm.
Sometimes it doesn't do that for some reason. So you always have this ability to come down here in the website under website and publish changes manually. It'll just force whatever changes out there to be pushed forward. The published changes though does not affect products.
Correct.
And
That's
so
all
if you
this is
have
gonna
a
be.
product change, if you're in here making a product change, what happens is if you make a change in a product or well, just let's just focus on that. If you make a change in a product, whatever that change might be, you could change the description or price or something like that. It will automatically and immediately show up on the product detail page. So those changes are immediately reflected here, but they're not immediately reflected in list pages like this or in a search. So if you search for whatever, it won't be immediately reflected here. That requires what we call indexing. So the catalog has to be indexed. So when you make those changes, you'll see it. You might see it here, but you might see it here, but you won't see it in the list page. Just give it some time. It takes generally, 10 to 30 minutes or so for those changes to index. So just be patient with that
Mhm.
and you should see that. And that's another troubleshooting tip. Sometimes you see a difference between a product detail page and a list view page like this. It could be pricing. Maybe come over, you've done what we asked you to do, which is keep your pricing updated in the point of sale. And throughout the day, it varies, and the timing varies based on the POS, but throughout the day, we're getting price and quantity updates from point of sale systems. And those may not be reflected here in these list pages until it gets indexed, but you likely will see those changes on these product detail pages right away. So when you see a mismatch there, that just tips you off that it's an index thing. So
Hmm.
if you are patient, it'll work itself out. So there's no reason to panic. If, however, you're in a really big hurry for whatever change a product made, there's really only one little tip I can give you, and that is If you go to settings and supplier sync, we'll go through that straight through. So settings and suppliers and supplier sync.
Mhm.
If you just scroll down on the bottom, you don't have to do anything. Just scroll down there and click save changes. I'm not going to do it here because it can take anywhere from 30 seconds to 4 or 5 minutes for this to change. Because when you save the change here, it's going through a lot of information related to all these suppliers,
Mhm.
but it doesn't fully index. It won't solve every problem, but sometimes it'll push that indexing to happen quicker. So don't abuse that.
Nice.
Don't overuse it. But if you make a change to a product, maybe there's an incorrect price and you're really panicked, want to get it fixed, and you
Mhm.
want it reflected as soon as possible, that's your pro tip. You can
Nice.
come
Well,
here to supplier sync, scroll down the bottom, just click save. It will take a while, so uh, just be aware. It may not actually make it any quicker. If you're just patient, it might work itself out. But if you're in a hurry, that's your pro tip for that.
if you need to try something else, yeah.
Yeah, if you do all those things and it still doesn't reflect the change from what you made in the catalog, then reach out to
Mhm.
client success. They can help troubleshoot that.
Yeah.
I thought that would be smoother. I'm still hung up on the fact that that change immediately immediately showed up.
Yeah, that's
That's
different.
great. Yeah, that's great. That's not the way. Usually it happens the other way, but that's great if it happens quick. But if you run into
Mhm.
those changes, pages and navigation, make a change, it's not reflected on
Mhm.
the website. Just remember you need to publish the change. Changes
Mhm.
get published overnight automatically, so you could be surprised if you had something that you didn't want the world to see. And
Mhm.
then changes to catalog items happen immediately on the product detail pages, but take a little longer for indexing to happen on list view pages and searches.
And then those start and end dates activate or deactivate in that overnight time.
Correct. Yeah. So if you
Nice.
don't want it to do that, deactivate the section or use a start and end date,
Mhm.
or just don't make the change until tomorrow.
Mhm.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, I hope you're I hope everyone's updating their websites all the time, but
Yeah.
especially kind of rolling into the busy season.
It is getting busy. So if you
Mhm.
have questions, let us know.
Yeah.
See you.
See ya.